Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wanneroo channel. Hope everybody's doing good. Today we are going to do a review on the Avenger weed killer. This is available on Amazon. I've been using this for probably at least 5 to 6 years, maybe even longer now. Been pretty happy with it overall. I'm going to go through a couple features about it. We'll go out, we'll use it. I'll also show you an extra little trick that I use with it as well. We'll put it on a variety of different weeds out there, and we will come back and check 48 hours later and see the damage and see how it did. So folks, the primary ingredient in this Avenger is d-limonene, which is a orange oil essentially. It's processed from the rinds of oranges. It's used in a variety of applications out there, all sorts of different things that they use basically citrus oil for. And 70% of this is d-limonene, and then they have other ingredients, which at least as far as I can see, they do not list. And pretty much with this, it's a concentrate, so you're going to dilute this down with something. They recommend using water here, and you can put it in a variety of different concentrations. For harder to kill weeds, of course, you use a much stronger concentration of it. And what I use with this to distill it down is they recommend water. I've used water plenty of times. Most of the time, pretty much most of the time now, what I do is I actually also buy some white distilled vinegar as well. And so I will dilute it down with that white distilled vinegar instead of water. And that seems to work pretty good because weeds don't like vinegar either. So I pretty much go at it and hit them pretty hard, from both angles. The other thing that you need to kind of keep in mind with this too is that anything that you do put it on, it stands a good risk of killing it dead. So if there is any sort of plant or anything that you do not want damaged, be cautious about it whenever you spray it. Also too, there is a little sheet here that comes with it, any cautions or warnings or anything like that. Whenever you're applying it, just kind of your standard sheet anytime you buy a product like this. But I think kind of the main advantage for a lot of us that buy something along the lines of this Avenger weed killer is that it's a thing where, we don't want to use harsh chemicals and stuff around where we live. And, I will tell you, there's a lot of things that modern chemistry has provided for us that, helps us out quite a bit. But, a lot of times we like to minimize our contact with a lot of that stuff. And so using something like this that's just straight up citrus oil, it might be a preferable option for some folks compared to other products. Pretty much what we'll do is we will mix this up in our Smith Contractor sprayer. You can buy these on Amazon. I have a variety of them in 2 gallons and 3 gallons, so I just use a big 3-gallon one here. We'll mix in some of the Avenger, and we will mix in some of the vinegar here, and then we're going to take it up. And the main thing we're going to concentrate on today is up at my shooting range. Basically, we have different weeds and stuff that are coming up through the gravel, and I want to neutralize those dead and take those out. So that's what we're going to do. All right, folks, so we're going to go ahead and use our Smith Contractor sprayer. First thing is to make sure all the air pressure is out before we open the top. Fair bit of air in there. You don't want to open the top on these unless you've released the air pressure. So we'll go ahead and get that done. Then next thing here is we can go ahead and open up the top now. Time that you're messing around with different things and you're pouring it into stuff, especially something like white vinegar or the citrus oil weed killer with the Avenger here. Anything like that, I would highly recommend that you wear safety glasses with this. Issues before, so just best to be on the safe side, just in case you get distracted. So, okay, now we will add our Avenger. And it's leaking down the side, of course, all over the floor. Figures. That should give us a pretty good concentration with that 2 gallons of vinegar to do a pretty good job. All right, let's take it up and put it to use. All right, so here's some of the stuff we want to tackle. some of the stuff coming up around the edge. And this was weed eated about a month and a half ago or so. And I also put down some Avenger back about a month and a half ago. And inevitably, other stuff starts to come up. So all this on the road, like where the gravel is, you can see all the green spots. I want to kind of clean that up. And then also too, some stuff shooting out there on the gravel. I want to get that. And then up here too, some different little spots that are starting to shoot up. So I want to hit all that. And so that's the plan. We have our Avenger here with our vinegar mix, and we're ready to go. Okay, so we'll just use our little pump sprayer and get to working on all this. And just giving everything a good coat. Now, one thing, a lot of times, some of the kind of the bigger weeds, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and like cut those back some. You know, taller grass, different things like that. So, and we are going to put this down, and then we will come back tomorrow and see the results of it. So just giving everything a nice little coat, nice little spray. And yeah, pretty easy to apply. So not too hard at all with one of these pump sprayers here. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. All right, folks, so here we are up at the range, and you can pretty clearly see where I sprayed the other day. And after I sprayed, actually within 2 hours of coming up here, there was already a lot of the weeds were pretty much dead and dying even 2 hours after I sprayed. So here it is 2 days later. You can clearly see the difference there where I sprayed compared to the green grass there. So probably need to come back and just eliminate all of that grass. That would probably be a good thing. And then all the little bits also that were coming up in this gravel, I would like to, if I can, keep this gravel nice and free and clear. And it's not too bad up here yet, but there were little shoots and stuff starting to poke out. So went ahead and hit all those, and most of that's pretty dead. It looks like there are a few survivors up there that might have made it through. But like I said, my preference is to keep this clear of weeds. It just makes it easier to find your brass whenever you're shooting. And then over here, near the range building, you can see that the grass is pretty much all dead there. A few little survivors of some of the smaller stuff. And also, plenty of devastation here. There are a few shoots and stuff that look like they escaped, but we can come back and hit them again. And then also that grapevine back there, some parts of it are still looking like they're kicking, so we need to take care of that and finish that off. But yeah, you can see pretty effective. You know, pretty much any place that I sprayed, it wiped it out pretty good. So pretty happy with that. That's exactly what we want. Just using that Avenger and then also that vinegar does the trick. Looks like there's a spot up there I missed. So I need to come back and hit that section. And I think we just need to do away with this grass in here, because that's probably going to spread more grass. So I think in this drainage ditch here, just need to wipe that out. But yeah, looking good, pretty happy with it. It also exposes a couple places that I might have missed. So again, we can come back and hit that with the second batch and take a lot of that out. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. All right, folks, so let's wrap up this video on this Avenger weed killer. What do we think? First off, if you're interested in it, check out the link below. It kicks back just a tiny commission to the channel instead of into Amazon's pockets. And all that extra support we get helps me make more videos, so I do appreciate y'all that do that. And then with this weed killer here, well, I've used this now for years, as I've mentioned. Been very happy with it. It does the job. It's probably a little more pricey than some of the other stuff out there. But, you know, basically it gets it done, and I don't have to worry about potentially spraying cancerous stuff or, you know, whatever it might be, you know, on different plants and things where I'm around, my dogs are around or whatever. And it just works. It works well. Just very happy with it, easy to apply and all that. Now, one thing of note is that, yes, you can blend it with water. I've used it blended with water plenty of times. The thing that I have found with it is it seems like it tends to separate quicker. So when you're actually out there applying it with your pump sprayer, you've got to kind of, you know, shake it up a bit more, a bit often to actually keep it kind of mixed and all that. I have found using the distilled vinegar, yes, of course, you do pay, you know, a couple extra bucks to get the distilled vinegar. In a lot of places, you can actually buy that in bulk. I probably pay too much for it, but different places you can probably get it in bulk for cheaper. But by blending it with the vinegar, it does seem like it kind of stays together a bit longer. So once you shake it up and you mix it up, it's kind of like an Italian salad dressing. You know, you shake up the bottle, the oil and vinegar kind of combine together into your salad dressing, and then, you know, you pour it on your salad, and usually it'll stay together before it separates for a while. Same thing with this right here. Usually once you shake it up pretty good with that vinegar, it seems to kind of stick together a little bit better for a little bit longer. And also too, vinegar, plants don't seem to like vinegar either. There are people that just use vinegar for weed control. I have found though using the orange oil tends to work better. So combine the two and basically make a potent weed killer that does a great job on weeds without having to worry about having some harsh chemical that could potentially harm you or whatever. So been very happy with this. Like I said, check out the link below. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Stay tuned because I have a ton of videos that I'm working on, all kinds of stuff coming up on the channel. You wouldn't even believe it. And we will see you all soon. Bye-bye.